Excuse me, it's time to get up to go to work. Come on, sleepyhead, get up. Come on, it's time to get up. Let's go do some work. Hey everyone, it's Dominic, the Primetime Treasure Hunter. Thanks again for coming by to check out another video. So I am heading out right now to sign up to get on the list for an estate sale that's going on tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Now, the reason why I'm doing this, there's actually several reasons. One is that this is from my favorite estate sale dealer, and it is the house that we've been to before. It's the one that I did that was titled a private estate sale, where the top 35 customers got to go early and get some items. I wound up getting some postcards, some vintage pencils, stationery, some good advertising pieces and stuff like that. So we are headed back there because now they're opening the full house and the pictures online look incredible. Remember, this woman who passed away, it was the estate sale dealer's aunt, and this was the person in the family that got everyone involved in antiques and estate sale liquidations. And so she's acquired a ton of stuff, and it's all there for sale. Now, there's another wrinkle into this for me tomorrow, which is I'm gonna have some time pressure tomorrow because I've got to get out of there within about 2 hours because I'm the only one who could take my daughter, Little Miss Primetime, somewhere where she needs to be. So she's relying on me for a ride. So I'm gonna have to head out of there, like make a purchase, head out of there, and then maybe even come back and try to get some things on the tail end. I'm not sure how it's all going to work out. And complicating things even further is there's a comic book convention in town tomorrow that I want to go to. Now today, I've taken the day off up until this point. Right now it's about 1 o'clock to celebrate my son's birthday, spend some time with him. One of his friends just came over, so he's busy with that. And we'll see. I don't know if there'll be any sales to hit up on the way back from the sign-up list, but if so, you know, I'll try to hit up some of those on the way back. All right, so let's get on our way and see what number I could get for this estate sale line. So I'm a half an hour early, and there's already a big line of cars and people lined up to get on the sign-up sheet. So we'll have to see what number I'll get, but I think I'll be all right. I think I should get in on the first wave tomorrow. Okay, so I got number 29. That should get me in on the first wave tomorrow, like I was thinking. And tomorrow's going to be very, very interesting in terms of the strategies that I'm going to have to employ to make this successful, given the time pressures I'm going to be under. So we'll just see what happens tomorrow. Doesn't look like there's too many good things on Yard Sale Treasure Map. It's already like 2 o'clock. If I see anything on the way home, I'll stop off and I'll turn the camera back on. But if not, the next thing you're going to see is me getting ready to go into this sale. Oh, Daisy's tired. It's Sunday morning. I went to a few garage sales yesterday on the way back, but there wasn't anything good there. And this morning, I'm not heading over to the flea market because I've got some parenting duty to do. Mrs. Primetime is off at work, and my son had a sleepover for his birthday yesterday, so I've got to be home for that. I'll be driving his friend home soon, and then we will head over to that estate sale. So maybe when we get back, Daisy will be out of bed. We'll see. Doubt it though. All right, well, I just dropped my son's friends off, so let's get out to that estate sale. Right, we're here. Lots of competition lined up on the street. My competitive juices are flowing. Let's get ready to rumble! All right, so this is a picking under pressure situation. It's almost 11 o'clock. That's what time the estate sale starts. I've got an hour and 45 minutes basically when you factor in checkout time. I've got to leave here at 1 o'clock to pick up my daughter and bring her somewhere. This place is about 20 minutes away from Primetime Treasure headquarters. Now, I'm not sure what's going to happen. Will I be able to get everything that I need by that time? We'll see. That would be the best scenario. Then I don't have to come back and I could go right to the comic convention, which closes at 4. The other option is I would have to come back, pick up all the stuff that I wound up getting between now and the time that I leave. If that's the case, I've already planned things out with the estate sale dealer. There's an area in the house which is cordoned off from anybody else, and we'll store my stuff there so nobody else grabs it in the meantime. If I come back, then we'll see. You know, I'll look for other things. I'm not sure sure if that is the option that I wind up, pursuing, if I'll have enough time to go to the comic convention. So we'll see. This definitely takes priority over anything else. It's by far the best and most important event that's going on this weekend. So let's head on in there and see what we can get.
I'm doing. How are you? Should have. Hi.
How's the nice lady doing today?
Good, good. How are you today?
Good.
Good. How are you? Good. Yeah.
Look at the clock and like, wow, that's.
Double stack.
They don't make them like that anymore. They had one like that, my parents did when I was a kid.
Oh, did you see that?
All right, it's 12 o'clock, about an hour into this. This is a good item, but you gotta be careful with this stuff because you could tell this one has been used when you shake it. No way a new one would be like that. Well, I did it. I purchased all of the trains that were in boxes. And this over in this box here is all the stuff you saw me picking up in the beginning, as well as this box here. I'll talk to you later about pricing. I got an incredible deal on this. That one in the back there, that one just sold on eBay for $670. I guess I'll just tell you now, I got every single thing here for $432. It's an incredible deal. I'm gonna make a lot of money on this collection. Not only that, but it's 12:43, just enough time to get a sandwich, pick up my daughter, and head over to the comic convention. And not only did I wind up getting all of this great stuff at the sale and all the trains and everything, but as I'm purchasing the trains, well, two things. One, another guy came in who was about to do the same thing that I did, so I just beat him to it. The other thing is that a woman said to me, "Hey, do you deal in trains?" And, you know, we explained to her what I do, myself and the estate sale dealer. You know, she was vouching for me and everything. She says, "Well, great. My brother-in-law is moving and we need to clear out all of these trains." I asked if they're in boxes. She said yes. So she took my business card. Always important to keep a business card. And she said she's going to give me a call. Now, we'll see if that happens, but she seemed at least pretty intent on contacting me to get into the house and check out all these trains. And that's how these private deals happen like that, is you know, you're making contacts also when you're at the sales. So don't forget to carry a business card with you because it makes you look much more professional when you have that. All right, time to go get a sub. Okay, well, I just dropped everything off here at Primetime Treasure headquarters because you never know what I may find at the comic convention. Who knows, there could be a collection I could try to buy out or something. I need to be prepared for that and can't have the Primetime Treasure Mobile loaded up with all these trains and estate sale purchases. So we'll go over it a little bit later. One thing I want to tell you about though is at the beginning of the video when I went in there, one of the things that really helped me out, and I don't see enough people doing this, is you have to have boxes to maneuver yourself when you're going in and out of all those rooms. There's no way I'd be able to carry all this stuff around. You saw me reorganizing it from time to time and just shifting things in the boxes, but that was a key to allow me to get through all those rooms in an efficient way. So one of the things that really helped me out this weekend is it's graduation weekend around here. So there are a lot of people who are hanging out outside doing tent parties and all that sort of thing. It's a gorgeous day. It's sunny, 70 plus degrees outside. So there were about half the people that would normally be there at the estate sale. There were about 60 plus people there. Normally, there's about 120 plus people there. So that really helped me out. Plus, the upstairs was totally sealed off, so you couldn't go up there. So I only had to focus on the first floor and the basement. Another thing that helped me out is I had been there before, so I knew the layout of the house. I knew exactly what room I wanted to go in to get all those Planters collectibles. That was all the Mr. Peanut stuff that you saw in the beginning. We'll go through it a little bit later, but I knew where to go, so I had a little advantage there. Like I said in a prior video, you've got to use things to your advantage as best as you can, and it's a competitive environment out there. All of those things factored into me being able to make these deals today that I did. Okay, here we are, Holiday Inn. This is where they have the comic book convention. You can see what I'm talking about being a gorgeous day. I've taken you here before if you followed other haul videos of mine. Now, sometimes in those other haul videos, you have found me purchase collections of comic books. Like one time recently, I came out with a whole big collection of Mad magazines and some old paperback love books and magazines that were from like the 1930s or 40s or something. So it just depends. Other times I walk out empty-handed. it really depends on which dealers are there. The professional dealers are not going to want to sell out their collections right now. I'm more looking for the guy who decided to set up a table there, you know, see how much of his comic book collection he could sell. And now it's like 2:30, it closes at 4 o'clock, and he doesn't want to take his stuff home with him, so he's realizing there's not going to be a lot more customers that come by, so here I come and offer to buy everything out in bulk. So we'll see if there's anyone like that today. You never know, it's worth the $3 shot at it for the price of admission. So let's head on in there. This here is a very famous comic book cover. It's the first appearance of Wolverine. It's Incredible Hulk 181. But don't get tricked by this. This is a reproduction. You could tell that for the $3.99 price up there, and also the UPC code on the bottom. All those are giveaways. In addition to how bright and shiny it is, that this is not an original. See, now this, on the other hand, you can tell is original, has the original 20-cent price tag on it. It's a little bit beat up, no UPC code on the front of it. You can see how pricey individual comic books can be. $100 just for that one. If you purchase big giant collections, that's how you could get some of these individual issues.
That's the same deal that Alternate Reality has with the Empire State Comic Con. It's a 5-year deal at the convention center.
So these are collector prices. Now you see why I sourced these Funkos at $2 a piece when I could get them, because this is what you could sell them for at places like this, but I can't source them at a place like this. See, even tables like this, I generally avoid getting stuff from them, because unless you pick out a gem, you know, purchasing even all these for $1 each, you're generally not going to make your money back. So for reselling, it's not worth it. For collector, different story. You know, this is a perfect example. So it's a 12-cent issue, Sad Sack. It's a, you know, older comic book from 1967. It's issue 191. Even if you picked it up for $1 right now, there's someone selling it on eBay for $5 and $3.50 shipping, with no evidence of a completed sale. So it's just not worth it. And it's further evidence that age of the comic does not necessarily correlate with value. Even condition doesn't always guarantee value. This is in very good condition and it's old. It's just not a super popular issue, that's all. All right, well, I headed out of there, spent just about a half hour there. I could have filmed more, but I was mindful that there's a bunch of people who follow me who really aren't into comic books that much. So I really just tried to keep it to a minimum and just make a few little points here or there. But, you know, there was a small outing there today, and there weren't too many dealers, and the ones that were there were not the type of people, as you could see from those prices, they were not gonna, you know, blow out their collections or anything like that. So it was just a lot of businesses and stuff. So anyway, let's head back to Primetime Treasure headquarters and go through those finds. Okay, so we're back at Primetime Treasure headquarters. I've got everything laid out here, and then I've got some of the smaller things down there from those initial boxes that I put together before I got into the train room. Now, when I get to some of the smaller items, I'll turn the camera around so we do more of a first-person view of it. But for right now, we go through some of the bigger pieces. I could talk to you about it with the camera on me. And this is the one I really want to focus on, the Amtrak HHP 8. Now, this one recently sold on eBay for $670. So this one right here should get me all my money back and still put me in profit. Then everything else that you see here will be profit as well. So total purchase price, remember, for everything that you see is $432. So this piece really is the best one. You can see there, it's a Lionel train set right there. Lionel is the best company that you're gonna find when it comes to trains and model trains and toy trains and that sort of thing. But there are some other brands that I picked up as well. This one here is another one that you should definitely look out for. It's Mighty Mo. Now, any of these 20-ton locomotives sell very well, typically in the $200 range. There are many different kinds of them that are out there. Now this one here, I'll just put the camera up so you could maybe see it a little bit better. This is the New York Central one. There's not a current comp of that, which is a good thing, but because it'll be more desirable, especially when having New York on it. There's not a lot of them out there. But in general, these 20-ton Mighty Mo's, $200 for them. Now there was one other Lionel train that I wound up picking up. It's the one in the orange box, the long one across the back that you see on top. That one is an Amtrak Amfleet cab car. It comps out around $200. Now the rest of the trains, 13 of them to be exact, are from a company named Lehman, also known as LGB. There's a bunch of them here, different sizes. Now, the one here on the bottom is a longer one, bigger one. That one also comps out at around $200. But some of these smaller to mid-size ones that you see here, like the Miller High Life one, some of those comp out at around $70 to $80. More $80 for this one. The Rio Grande one up top, more like a $70 piece. And you could see here, I've got them along the back. There's a whole bunch of other ones here. So 16 trains in total. Not bad. Let me give you a first-person look at some of the smaller items that we have here. Now, you may have seen some New York license plates at the very beginning. I had initially tossed them in the box, but then when I looked them up, they really didn't have much value. About maybe 20 bucks, but they wanted 10, so I just wound up leaving it there. That's why you don't see it here. Okay, so I was kind of in grab and go mode when I was in that first room. I've been in that room before when I went to the private sale. I'm gonna link to that private sale at the end of this video if you missed that. But when I saw the pictures online, I saw there was Mr. Peanut stuff. Mr. Peanut is very collectible, just as a general rule of thumb. This one is some type of peanut butter maker. So you put the peanuts here up top and you turn the crank, and I tested the crank, it works. Then here there are some like decorative figures, the kind of twisty ones where you can move the arms and the legs up and down. So there's 3 of them in there. There's also, looks like an iron-on patch of Mr. Peanut. And there's also some playing cards as well with him. And then there's also, looks like some type of a bag that someone would have stored the peanuts in, or yeah, they carried it around in there. So believe it or not, even these little bags are collectible too. And then of course we've got the tin can here with the Planters peanuts. There's no lid on it, so that could hurt the value a little bit, but still cool peanut related item here. Now these, you wound up seeing me pick those off at the back end of a room that was in the basement. They were kind of hidden from view. These are not things that look, super cool like any of these items here. And by the way, there's another Planters Peanut sign, Mr. Peanut on it. So that's a good one too. Any signs with Mr. Peanut on it, look for those. But it's not a cool looking item like that, but look up the comps on these. The Simpson Strong Tie insulation supports. These things sell for about $35 a piece. So if you're wondering what they look like, they're just basically strong metal strands that are inside of here. And this is more of a vintage version of them. They still make them. But people pay up for those, so it's good to have those. I could put them at a lot or sell them together. Over here, there are some really cool items. This one I really like because of the the uniqueness of it. There's not many of them out there. This book comps out at like 17, 15, anywhere like 15, 20 bucks for that book. This one you have seen before in one of my haul videos, and it was when we were in the basement and I was unraveling things from tissue paper. These sell very well, these orange marmalade containers from James Keeler and Son. If you have not seen these before, pick them up every single time, even if they have any little cracks inside or on the outside, and this one does not. But these will sell within 24 hours if you price them right, which means somewhere between $35 and $45 for each one of these containers. They go super, super fast. This one here, I did not have any comp on it, but it looks really cool. Looks like a nice vintage piece. That's what drew me to it. Remember, this was something that was in the home of a former antique dealer. She had that it looked like it was from the 1950s on it. She was trying to sell it a long time ago for 24 bucks. And so I just picked it up. I figured I'd do a little bit of research into it. And, you know, can't miss. There wasn't even a price on it. I think I wound up getting it for like $1 or something. So, and that is made of metal. That is not plastic. So it's a nice strong piece. These are another type of thing that's kind of like this, right? I've shown you this before, but these things that kind of look boring, they're just sitting there on the shelf with all the nails and stuff like that. These more braided picture wires. Look up the comps on these. So you would easily get like $7.50 for each one of these. If there was only one, I wouldn't have picked it up. But for $7.50 a piece, I could put these up for like $29.99, and then we've got an easy $30 sale. There were some other cool items as well. A lot of postcards. I'll show you these in just a moment, but these were separate, and I just picked them out because they're black and white. They're from very specific places in small towns, and they are you know, photographs, photograph pictures. And anytime you could find something like this, you know, pick them up. Pick up these black and white photo postcards. They're nice and old. You could see there was a place for a 2-cent stamp. I don't know if Popeye is watching this from Popeye's Postcards, but he might chime in on those, as well as some of these here. I saw these the last time that I was there, and I passed up on them because at that time they wanted like $50 for this, but then they lowered the price to 20 bucks. So I'm glad that I passed up on it last time and now got it for more than half of the price. And I think she even discounted it further for me when I went up there to check out. Now, a lot of these are color. There are some black and white ones in here as well, some foreign language ones too. So then there's like some folder ones. They're like souvenir folders. There's a bunch of them from Syracuse. So and then there's some other things back here. So you know, I've got to just take my time and go through them and see. We've got some things of Kansas, Nantucket Island. That's interesting, Nantucket Island. I actually just did a be on the lookout item in my Facebook group for Nantucket baskets. So if you're interested in learning more about that, come to my Facebook group where I do a be on the lookout item every day. We just crossed 10,000 members in the Facebook group today. So the link is in my bio section. Go by and check out that group. All the information there is free, doesn't cost you anything. You know, some really, you know, these are cool, like ones like this, these really specific ones with the waterfalls, Genesee River Upper Falls. I love that, showing that bridge. That's a really cool piece. So like those things. I always pick these up. These come in different colors. I have ones in blue and green, but anytime you could see and find these instrument-shaped type of bottles, pick them up. They sell very well, either individually or in lots. Now, this is a name that you definitely want to jot down as a be on the lookout type of item. It's I.W. Harper. There's a lot of types of items out there with that name on it. They generally sell pretty well. I mean, some go for like $40, $50, $60 or more. There's no specific comp on this one, but I picked it up because it only had a $3 sticker on it, and I know that the name sells very, very well. This here is some type of tool. I really don't know a lot about this thing. Someone who knows a lot about tools can chime in on it, but just looked really neat and figured that I'd pick it up. There was that Ford wrench too that should be in the box. I'm not sure where that is right now, but it's got to be It's got to be somewhere. Found it inside the box. Okay, so over here there were a bunch of cars that I found, and this one I tried to zoom in earlier to show you. The thing that jumped out to me is that it's a Tootsie Toy car. I have found Tootsie Toy cars metal detecting and have done research on them in the past. They are highly collectible. There are Facebook groups dedicated to them, as well as websites that are focused on the Tootsie Toys. And then there were some other cars in here as well. I like this 57 Thunderbird, which is pretty cool. None of the other ones are Tootsie Toys, so these other ones are kind of more random, but I did just throw it in the box because I knew I'd get a good rate on it. I also picked up a bunch of these older German books. They all say Oberammergau on it, which is a German municipality. This one is from 1900. This one is as well. And then this one here, 1922. Now, when I comped them out using the name Oberammergau, I didn't find that many of them sold, but being that there's a whole lot of them, and none of the ones I looked up were being sold as lots, they were being sold individually, and none individually I saw were this old, like 1900. I figured it was definitely worth just tossing in the box. This here was one of the things I got towards the beginning. It's an old assortment of items that you would find inside Cracker Jack boxes, so like stickers and toys and stuff like that. So they really seem pretty cool. We're gonna see what the best thing is to do with them. Some of them might be best sold individually, but I would imagine that a lot of stickers might be best to lot them together, and some of these little toys and stuff. And then the last thing was this little basically collection of paper items. We've got some old, tiny little books. Some of them seem religious ones or poetry related ones. Then we have, let's see, this one is about, looks like about radio and something about some type of music. It's some kind of musical one. Then we've got one on the 1965 World's Fair in New York. Here's a pocket atlas about it. This one here are some little puzzles that were used to promote this candy company. So that one is pretty neat to have. You could see the little puzzle there. We've got a nice home shopping guide from Woolworths that was 10 cents. Another New York's World Fair related paper item. These paper items, I'm telling you, sell super well. We've got an old card here with a mystery inside of it. And then we've got some other little cards here as well. Let's see if it says anything on the back. It's like some collectible military card, which was used to basically promote the purchasing of war bonds. And you could see there, this looked like something that was inserted in a gum pack from 1942. So that is a cool collectible item as well. If Don, the auction professor, is watching this, this is the exact type of stuff that I know he absolutely loves. Old black and white photographs I look for as well, but this one, let's see, that one looks like Richard Nixon right there. So yeah, absolutely, there we go, Richard Nixon. Oh, it's a postcard, okay. So I don't know how many people would want that one. Fish and game stuff, I do very well with fish and game stuff. Usually medals or little buttons, I should say. But you never know with these little old fish and game guides that go back this old from the 1930s. People may have an interest in that as well. We've got some nice old 1930s life insurance calendars here as well. Here's another fish and game syllabus. Here's another one of these cards. Let's see if that also came from the gum company. It did. So maybe lot those two together or sell them separately. I don't know. We'll have to look through it and check the comps on these things. There's some other things here as well. We've got an old cartoon book. So it looks like it's got some cool little black and white comics inside of it. So that's pretty neat, especially for me loving comic books. So looks like there's some military related things in there as well. So that's pretty cool. We've got that one. And look at this. We've got a stamp album here. I haven't looked through all this stuff. So we've got a stamp album here. I'm gonna have to check if there are stamps inside of it. I honestly have no idea. And I don't do much in stamps. So it looks like it's just the album. So no stamps unless there are stamps inside this envelope here. I don't know. Let's see if I could do this with one hand. Oh, looks like it's sealed up. Let's see. Oh, we've got stamps inside here. Look at this. I did not check this before I went on the video with you, so it's hard to get it out with one hand. Let me just stop this for a second. Okay, here we go. So they are presidential stamps. Again, I don't know a lot about these, so if you are more knowledgeable in stamps than I am, please leave a comment down below and tell me, if you think these have any value, the albums and the actual stamps themselves. It looks like I have 2 of them, so I presume that there are stamps inside there as well. We'll check that out later. Nice little like pamphlet here, advertising looks like some pharmacy type of things, but also has some old musical tunes inside, so that's cool. Let's see here. Motion picture films. So this may be, I'm not sure. Let's see, it looks like a receipt pad or something like that. That's interesting. I don't know, I gotta look more into that. We've got another old songbook here. I'm not sure how much value that would be. Let's see here. We've got something about an old Michigan and Harvard game. So that's pretty neat here. Looks like some kind of ticketing information about it, or maybe send away to get a ticket for it. We've got another World's Fair item from New York, another World's Fair. So there's a bunch of World's Fair stuff and some Thousand Islands, New York glossy photo views. All right, well, that's everything. Definitely the best haul of the year by far in just 1 hour and 45 minutes. Pressure pick situation, but it was all made possible by a lot of different variables that came together. Having a plan to go through the house, having prior experience with the house, having a great relationship with the estate sale dealer. This is why I tell you in some of the other videos, I go to this person's sales no matter what. Even if I wind up only getting one thing, I want her to know I'm a loyal customer. That's what got me into the pre-sale that, again, I'll link to at the end of this video. And when I wound up getting all those postcards and vintage pencils and stationery, you have to build up those relationships. Don't be afraid to spend the money. Even though it's more than you traditionally would, you're not gonna grow your business to its fullest extent if you're always making $1 and $2 purchases. I love doing that, but sometimes when the situation is right, you have to pay up for it, and this is a perfect situation. When you have solid comps that an item like that big train set should sell for $667, then purchasing everything that you see there for $432 is, as I like to say, it's a no-brainer. So I've got a lot of work to do. Got some video editing, obviously. Want to get some more things listed, have to get some things packed. But I hope that you enjoyed coming along for the ride. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you are not subscribed. Let me know which one of the items that I found that you thought was the coolest item or the best item. And again, make sure you come to the Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center, and follow me on Instagram. That's @prime_time_treasure. I'll see you back at the next video, everyone. Take care.
You are so cute with this little thing in your mouth. Oh, God.